Welcome, everybody. Good evening. It's a great day to be holding Bitcoin, isn't it? We're up 3%. Current price 118,417. We just came down from a high, like, not even an hour ago, of hitting 119,477. Just like that, we're already way up here. I was making a pathetic prediction 2 days ago last time I streamed. 116,000 is where I saw the price heading towards, and that is because my Fibonacci got deleted, but I promise, my Fibonacci was telling me that we had another resistance at 116, which this morning we kind of did slow down at that area, right? Here it was. 115,900. Well, we blew past it, actually. Never mind. So now we're at, what do you even call these resistances anymore? There's a lot of lines at this point. Next resistance, clear, at 120,000, or 121 rather. Seems to be our next target for the time being. So that's what we got. Yeah, we're just slowing down at this resistance. A bit of rejection from this area. Most of it has to do with shorts being liquidated, lots of them. Super trend is shooting its way all the way up. 112,000 is where our uptrend invalidates. 112,600. My entry's still there. 111,939. We are up 7,000. That's nothing to sneeze at. My portfolio is still not fully green, by the way, which goes to show that the alts have to catch up big time because of the drop that they had last week. But we're slowly getting there. Stellar is finally in the green. Sui, Aptos, Ripple, Litecoin, Cardano, Chainlink, all in the green. Pepe, Pengu, my meme coin play is doing well. Pengu outperforming. Ethereum doing well as well. Although I still despise it, but it's whatever. World Liberty Finance kind of juked me a little because it was much higher before. It was one of the first to start rising before everything else did. I refused to take profit here. Now I'm going to have to probably regret it. I don't know. I'll still hold on to it for now. My take profit was based off of this super trend, which that super trend has now dropped to a point where the previous resistance that we had on it, 22 cents. Yeah, I could have probably taken profits there because now I would want to change my take profit to be that area that it was before. But it's whatever. I'm just gonna hold on to it and expect it to blow past that resistance and maybe even hit this take profit. If it does, good. If not, whatever. It's fine. So, yeah, that's what I got for that. This is a bonus position that I have on Solana. I'm not actually shorting Solana. I am, but they gave me $100 in bonus. And I'm like, I'm long on everything. If I'm wrong tomorrow, I'll make some small return out of it from this short position. And if not, everything else will go up and will overcompensate for the minuscule amount of money I was expecting to make on a $100 short with 5x. It didn't even fully give me the full... It didn't give me the full amount. It was 439, which that is not 500, right? But, you know, you get the point. Anyway. So that's going to expire in a couple minutes. Probably by the end of the stream. So I'm not too concerned about it. Research coin still doing absolutely nothing. Pathetic play. What else is rising, though? Hyperliquid is doing good. My actual Solana entry is doing good as well. And I entered a new entry here on Plasma, XPL. I've been researching this one. It seems like a really good project. And come on, guys. Look at this snipe that I've just made right over here. Am I not just great at what I do? Look at that perfect, practically perfect snipe. I don't even know. I saw it was crashing like last night. I put this order in last night. I was like, okay, how far can we go? We're still not technically oversold at that area, right? At that time, I'm like, this could continue dropping. I kind of don't really want to enter this. I got liquidated on this one, by the way, for shorting it. So I did discuss this one with you guys maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, whatever it was. And I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Seems to be a genuinely good project. I wasn't expecting it to perform well before. Seems like it's not something that'll die easily. It's got a good community behind it and all. I'll throw a 500 entry at where I expect it to drop. So I averaged out super trend and support 1. I did not use any Fibonacci because frankly I don't know necessarily where to draw it. And the fact that this is a new coin, not a lot of people are going to have Fibonacci's to be drawn. They won't know where exactly to put their entries because they don't have the historical data that this chart has on BingX. BingX has had historical data since 22nd of August for this token, Plasma. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to ignore that and I'm just going to focus on what we do have. And it was bang smack right on that level. So perfect entry and we are already up. So that's a lucky entry. I'm not going to pretend like I knew what I was doing, but my intuition did its work. So I guess that's fine. Let's go ahead and analyze what else we've got. I don't know why Bitcoin suddenly shifts over to the side. Ethereum, we're breaking out of the downtrend over here. It's already flipped green in the super trend, so that is a good sign. We're going to go ahead and draw an uptrend on it, which would look like that. This is the thing that we are to be following at the current moment. We delete this one, it's not valid, and this one, yeah, I don't think this is valid either. We can go ahead and remove it. We are met with a resistance. This Fibonacci is indeed valid. So 4,400 seems to be our resistance for Ethereum at the current moment. We just hit a high of 4,381. So it's going to take a bit more. We are entering over purchased area. I don't know. These are tough times in a good way because we are in Uptober, right? We're expecting things to just skyrocket much higher. It's not safe to just say, oh yeah, we're going to stop at this level and come down again. I don't know if technical analysis will really work this month because everybody's going crazy. We've got a lot of bullish news to look forward to. I've been discussing it all of last week, reasons why we should stay bullish, and the fact that we did not deserve these kinds of drops going down over here. And I realized that, and that is why I took advantage of those dips and started buying. I know there are still some missed opportunities, like I did have this area in my view. How can I show the historical pivots? Like I could have had a trigger order right over here on Ethereum, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't just put another order there. I put one over here, which was perfect. I just wasn't expecting it to crash below 4,000. But it did, and, well, I just missed that entry. So missed opportunities, but there will always be opportunities in the market, so I'm not going to beat myself up for it. We'll just go with the flow. Things are looking fine. Super trend invalidates as long as we remain, as long as we don't go below 4,000, rather. Welcome, Blowin' Chucks. Yes, we are indeed in October. You added 5k exposure. Oh, never mind. Anyway, yeah, so that's what we got. 4% up today. Oh, on September bottom, we'll see how that goes. You got your Pengu down to 0.28. 0.028. Let me check mine. My entries, or you got a better entry than I do then. I got 0.29 right now. But I'm still up in the green. Also flipping the downtrend away, right? I didn't have a downtrend drawn. I haven't been looking at it, but yeah. It's going good. My liquidation price is still pretty far. My total exposition is a little larger than last time. Oh wow, I've got a lot actually. 2,000, 3x leverage. That gives me 6,000 USDC. And I'm up 420 today. So it's looking really good. Hope you do very good on that as well. You got 5k exposure, so nice. I think we're about the same. About the same then, yeah. Looking good, man. Solana is also up today, very significantly. I'm really happy to see it. What do we got? My entry's still 207. Resistances, we're at 222 right now. The resistance, current price is 220.27. So, just barely reaching over purchased as well. I think Solana can continue higher, and if we do, we'll be hitting 230. No problem. XRP, 295, pathetic, still unable to break $3, but I'm sure it'll get there eventually. Still got space to run, so $3 will be its resistance. After that, we do have a peak over here at 314. So after we past $3, we'll be heading to that target, 314. Might have to adjust this take profit, or I don't even know what to do with XRP. I'd still... Ethereum and XRP, for whatever reason, it's just like underwhelming for me. Sui is ripping it today. Good stuff. 1K up. My average price is 332 after wobbling around with purchasing higher, purchasing lower. But I've got good exposition into Sui. I'm satisfied with it. About 6... Almost... No, never mind. 5,000... What would I have put here? 5,500, I guess, because I'm losing 137 in commission. So that says 5,358. But we're still up 1,000 nonetheless. Good entry price. And I put a take profit all the way up here at basically our all-time high. That should pay out 10K if we are patient enough. I think so we can have an easy recovery. Look how fast we can just approach 387. I don't want to push it too far because we are overpurchased also on the RSI, so that should technically indicate that we should see a slowdown. It depends on how this candlestick closes. I mean, it's still going higher, but we'll see. We might get another one of what we're seeing with Bitcoin over here, this little rejection. I don't know. Things look like they want to continue higher, so be it. I'm fine with it. 8% up today for Sui, so it's all good. I'm liking it. Chainlink finally green for me. Still technically under this downtrend, but we do technically have a small uptrend going on over here, so that is good to see. I don't like how it looks though. There's something like that going on. Good stuff. Invalidates at 2062. My entry price is still 22. Resistance is at 23, I would say. Right? Wrong. No. Let me get rid of this. We're not looking for supports anymore. Alright. Yeah, it's still 23. Almost. 2286. 81. You could call it 2285 then. A resistance for it. So Chainlink still got enough room to continue rising to that area. I know it's not a lot, but it's going to be tough. We're going to have to break out of this actual downtrend line. We got a lot of resistances to go through, basically, for Chainlink. So we're not out of the woods yet. And I'm still just barely turning positive here, so I would like for it to continue much higher. Cardano finally getting some green candles up here as well. Resistance at 86. We're currently at 85. My entry is 81. Downtrend still prevails, technically. Although super trend has flipped to green, which is a good sign, meaning that we can continue much higher. I just reviewed World Liberty Finance. It's up 5%, it says. Crazy. Look at this skyrocket movement from Stellar today. 9% up. I think that's... Yeah, that is the most out of the ones I see here. The ones I regularly check. Very overpurchased. Slowing down at 40 resistance level. What do we have here? Yeah, these are resistance lines. Although it's old. One could argue outdated. Then we got 41, then 42, 43. I think we just have one every cent as we go up. So pretty irrelevant to check resistances on Stellar. But it's going good. 700. What else we got? I want to look at Aptos. I'm seeing a big return here. Oh my gosh, what is happening? 8% up today for Aptos. Okay. I do like my average entry price as well. I was lucky enough to accumulate practically the bottom down here to lower my average price to 428. Uptrend invalidates basically at my entry, which is a good sign. I want the super trends to always climb above my entry prices. That's how I know it's like a way for me to feel safe that I won't see these numbers turn negative. I could, but it's less likely to see that. That's basically what I mean. Resistance clearly at $5. We're at 484 right now. Very, very close. We're also very pushed up on the RSI, so I don't know how far we can continue. I'm hoping for good movements, continuation of good movements, because the movement is great. What else do I got? Sonic is finally not as negative. Good recovery. 11% up. Okay, there we go. Hey, we finally turned to slightly green over there. So, good recovery on Sonic. Yeah, I had Sonic on spot, and I had it around these prices to get sold, which I was not expecting to happen, and it did happen. So now I have some some more USDT to purchase any dips. From here, like honestly, any small retracement, I'm just going to be putting in a bit more if I can. I wanted to do like lots of DCA on XPL, but it was just such a perfect snipe, and I don't even know if it'll even go lower. I don't want to jinx myself here, but I don't know. This might have been a perfect bounce or something, right? V-shape recovery. We'll see. Yeah. I don't got too much news to cover today. There is some stuff that is going on. There are reasons why we are jumping up in prices today. So I'll go through all of that right now. So first thing is first. Resolution to keep the US government open has officially failed as of last night, meaning that yesterday we already had this in our expectations that the US government will be shutting down all operations for non-essential personnel starting at midnight, and that happened. So the government shutdown indeed is in effect. What does this mean? Everything on hold. Okay, good. Not good. I don't know. It has to do with Medicare, Medicaid, whatever the health thing is in the United States. I'm not too well informed on that. I don't live there, so forgive me for being ignorant on this subject. But from what I understand is that Democrats want the funds to pay for illegal immigrants' medical expenses. Meanwhile, the Republicans do not. This should have been discussed in the big beautiful bill that passed a couple months ago, but I guess we're arguing about it now. I don't know how long this will take. Last time this happened, it was also in Trump's term in 2018, and it lasted 35 days. It apparently did affect markets, but this time around, obviously, we're not seeing it affect markets. Rather, we're seeing all-time highs in gold, all-time highs in the US markets, and crypto is ripping right now. What's the reason for that? The possibilities for interest rate cuts. This is unconfirmed, so I'm going to confirm this live right now. That percentages should be rising, and that should be sparking some optimism in the markets. I'm going to go review. Okay, yeah, that is indeed the case. 99% chance we get a rate cut in the 29th of October meeting. And for the rest of the year, yeah, an 88% chance for our third rate cut in December. It seems to be this is the reason why markets are pumping. Why does this increase the chances of us seeing rate cuts like for the rest of this year? The reason is because I shared this news a couple of days ago as well. Lots of federal employees losing their jobs. They're resigning, 100,000 I think the number was. And we got some economic data. We are expecting economic data on Friday, which no longer will be the case. We had this ADP employment changes of negative 32,000 jobs. Basically, this is an independent company, I think, that does, private businesses basically giving their forecasts, which is similar to what we get from the official numbers from the non-farm payroll data and unemployment rate that we get on Friday, this Friday. And I shared this news as well before, is having a government shutdown will likely delay the data that we are expecting, not just for NFP and unemployment, but also for GDP data, any future PCE data, CPI, PPI, all that stuff. It's going to get delayed, or, I'm sure it'll just be delayed. We're going to get it eventually, but it's going to be delayed. The fact that we are not likely to get this information, this economic data by Friday, we're going to have to, it's all up to us to assume what's going to happen. Okay, what do we assume is going to happen? Obviously, jobs are not being created during a government shutdown. Those people are not working. They will probably not get paid. Unemployment will rise from that, from the federal agents at least losing their jobs in that sense. The fact that we got ADP in the negative, we lost 32,000 jobs, I'm assuming is what this means. These numbers don't look well, and this might play into Trump's playbook of the 5D chess thing. The fact that he wants Jerome Powell to cut rates. He knows Jerome Powell is more concerned on the labor market. So I think Trump is rather happy Like internally speaking. I don't think he's like expressing his happiness about this, the government shutdown, but he's probably happy that, yeah, this government shutdown, it's good for him anyway, because it's going to affect the labor market, and the Fed is going to have to step in, cut the rates to kind of stabilize what we're seeing here. So that's kind of my perspective on why we are rising. Those are the reasons, right? This government shutdown affects labor market. Labor market needs to be saved by the Fed. The Fed will more than likely cut rates to save the labor market. And stock markets, everybody, crypto, we all love rate cuts here because it weakens the US dollar. And if the dollar gets weaker, whatever you're going up against rises in value. So everything leads to that money printer. And that's what we'd like to see. I hope that explanation made some form of sense, but yeah, that's what we got. Like I said, stock markets, everything, still hitting all-time highs. Elon Musk has officially hit $500 billion in net worth. The last time we reported on his net worth, he was about $400 billion, and that was after Trump's victory, when it's mainly on his Tesla stock. It was surging to all-time highs at that moment. I might as well go look at Tesla. How is Tesla right now? Oh, we are very high, indeed. Yeah, so these highs was November, December, right? In December, he would have hit his $400 billion peak over here. Of course, some time has passed, and, well, now he is worth even more, $500 billion. So, good for him. He's doing well. Barron Trump, also I wanted to talk about. You know what? Before I talk about Barron Trump, more on Elon Musk. More on Elon Musk. Let me go find him. He actually had something to say about Netflix. Because I'm running low on news, I do want to talk about this. It is partially relevant. This. Donations by Netflix employees is 100% in favor of the Democrats. Elon Musk says, wow, 100% of Netflix employee donation are to the Democratic Party. He's also talking smack about Netflix for... I'm trying to find the exact tweets. This guy tweets way too much. Unless he deleted it by now. Here it is. Cancel Netflix. Netflix appears to openly boast about discriminating against white people. In their inclusion and diversity report, they celebrate that the percentage of racially underrepresented directors and lead characters has been growing significantly over the past few years. Why doesn't Netflix hire based on qualifications instead of skin color? It's the whole issue with DEI again, right? We're seeing big companies kind of do this with trying to basically erase white history or promote white guilt, I guess. If you're white, you shouldn't be proud about that because of whatever happened a couple years ago. There's that kind of stuff. And there's also the trans stuff. Here it is. A Netflix show, Cocomelon, features interracial gay dads attempting to raise a baby as transgender who makes the toddler dance for them in drag. This is the woke version of Bachabazi. I don't know what that is. But stuff like that. Of course, Elon Musk, it's a sensitive subject for him because his son is also trans. Whatever his or her name is. Vivian, I think. Changed his name. I don't know. There's that. After Elon Musk told his 226 million followers he's canceling Netflix, the trend has gone viral. People are also posting their Netflix cancellation. It is time to cancel and boycott Netflix, and it seems to be due to that kind of stuff. There was also some other documentary. Yeah, here it is. Transgender woke agenda. Your kids. Netflix is like the Trojan horse. They're trying to teach your kids transgender stuff. Protect your kids. Cancel Netflix. And Elon Musk has been relentlessly posting about all of this. And that's why I wanted to bring it up is that, yes, it did have an impact on Netflix's price. NFLX. And it has been going down because of it. Good area for entry, by the way. if you can. It is oversold, so if I had, and you know what, I don't want to support Netflix though because of this. I'll agree with Elon Musk on that. Okay, moving on. Now, on to Barron Trump. This is the son of Donald Trump and Melania. Has made $80 million from Bitcoin and crypto. It's not just in one day, but this is like throughout basically this year and last year, right? He was heavily promoting it. People were speculating that he was the one behind the Trump meme coin, the Melania meme coin. Remember the memes where he's like, "Hey dad, can I borrow your phone for a second?" He's like, "Sure, son." Then he's like, "I love Bitcoin and crypto, guys. Make sure you buy my new Trump meme coin. It's out now." He's probably the one behind it all. He's also backing World Liberty Financial, which we know is a big company to the Trump family. That kind of stuff, right? So we're seeing him very involved in this whole crypto space. It's no surprise that he is indeed making millions from it. As how old even is he? He's like 18, 19? Younger than I am, so what would I do with all that money, am I right? Forbes claims Barron Trump is worth $150 million, and he has made an estimated $80 million from token sales, with an additional $2.3 billion in locked up tokens. So he really knows what he's doing. He's not just like some rich kid who happened to gamble on crypto. No, he genuinely knows a lot about Bitcoin and crypto. He's like, we've seen him do suspicious trades on Hyperliquid, for example. I think people were speculating that it was Barron Trump. We know that he was using just some really smart plays, some trades that he was making that people wouldn't even think of, like the time weighted average price sell off to take profits. That one time when everybody was checking on Hyperliquid, this huge trade that was made. It was mind-boggling to see that stuff. I forget exactly how it played out, but trust me, he's a really, really smart guy when it comes to this. Yeah, he mogs everyone. There we go. He reportedly shut down an entire floor of the Trump Tower for a date as well. Well, wonder who's the lucky girl, am I right? Good for him. Speaking of the Trump family and President Trump himself, he also posts and promotes Bitcoin. Or maybe this is Barron Trump handling Donald's account. There's an explanation, 8-minute Bitcoin explanation on his Truth Social account, just to give people awareness, right, to all Trump's followers. And I was assuming at first, because this was at like maybe 5 a.m. that this post came out, maybe that is why we're starting to see this large rise just very early in the morning. But no, I came to realize later, yeah, it's actually the government shutdown. It's genuinely good for the markets. People were scared. People were like, oh, this government shutdown, it's going to crash markets again. But no, this time is actually different. So that's good. Michael Saylor posts, of course, happy Uptober. Let's go. Even he is in on it. This is good stuff as well. We covered this partially in the past about historical data and Q4 returns. September has closed green for Bitcoin. I was nervous that it was going to be closing like barely green, like a 1% green or like a 2% green. It was actually 5% green, which is not that bad compared to previous months, right? People say that if September turns green, which normally September is the worst month in Bitcoin history, right? Every year that Bitcoin has existed, September has been the worst month, except for recently. Every time September is green, usually October, November, December, so Q4, is really like hardcore green. So hopefully we'll see that this year too, maybe, because, 5% on September, that's not bad at all. But that's just us hoping that historical movements repeat. I don't think they will. I mean, they could, but you never know. Strategy's Bitcoin treasury is up over $3.2 billion in unrealized profit in only one day. So this is Michael Saylor's company, of course. All the Bitcoin that this guy has, he has 600,000 Bitcoin. With this kind of movement today, you made $3.2 billion that fast in one day. All your life's work times 100, it's all made in one day with Bitcoin. If you hold that much, it's crazy stuff. We also saw this Part of the reason why we started rising a bit earlier on over here was Tether USDT. They actually acquired 8,888 Bitcoins, which is worth $1 billion all around Q3 2025, which brought its total reserves to 86,335 Bitcoins, which has a value of about 9.76 billion. So Tether buying, that is good. We still got lots of liquidations to get through. I think this has already gone. That is why we hit 119,477. These liquidation levels gone. That's also what I wanted to check here. Liquidation heat map. Let me go to a larger time frame, please. I am actually curious. How fast can we hit 120,000? We do need one more push. But after 120,000, it's going to be a little bit harder, I would assume, to break through. Has it already been 1 month since we've seen 124,000? No, it's been longer than that. We'll go to 3 months then. This should give us a wider perspective of where the liquidity lies. Not much, actually. So I don't think it's going to be like we're going to skyrocket immediately to 124,000, basically our all-time high. There is some money there, but it's not that much, to be honest. If anything, we should probably worry about liquidations in the longs. Actually, probably not for a while. It seems like people are playing it safer with their leverage because lots of it is at 112,500 and below. Tons of it is at 107,000. So I don't know. It's looking okay for Uptober, actually. It doesn't concern me that much. Not a lot of shorts to be liquidated, not a lot of longs to be liquidated. It gives room for that natural growth for us to continue higher. We don't want overexposed leverage that is just forcing things much higher. We don't want too big of a rise in open interest because that's not really that healthy for a good rise. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Bitcoin dominance also dropping hard. Is that true? And if that is true, then yeah, that would be another indicator that alt season is rising. Okay, look at that. Bitcoin dominance, you can check here. So it is a lie. It doesn't look like that. I mean, they're probably looking at it in like a 15-minute chart, like, oh, look at this, Bitcoin dominance crashing. Probably is that, right? What is the time frame here? It is on a 1-hour chart. Are we sure? October. Yeah, I guess. All right, well, my chart does not look like that unless we're looking at this. It might have been this, actually. Okay, I'll agree with you there. If they were looking at that, Bitcoin dominance dropping hard, sure. But it's still technically a little bit high, in my opinion. 59%. It's got to come down a lot lower before we start considering the fact that alt season is indeed in play. I should have like some level here. Alt season, when it crosses 54%, that is a long way to go still. But you're noticing something nonetheless, is that Bitcoin dominance is still on its way down little by little, right? We had a bit of a slowdown in Bitcoin dominance crashing because of the recent crash that we just experienced last week. People were more willing to hold Bitcoin than the altcoins because they were like, uh-oh, are we really like in an alt season or not? I'm just going to hold on to Bitcoin just in case. But now it's practically confirmed. So I think this should easily start coming down again. Yep. I'll agree with it. I'll delete this. Moving on. World's biggest Bitcoin seizure. Chinese woman Qian convicted in the UK. The UK authorities seized 61,000 bitcoins, which is worth $6.7 billion. The funds were tied to a massive fraud that scammed 128,000 victims. She held more bitcoin than any corporate entity besides Sailor. That is so true. 61,000 bitcoins. Very funny. How much did we say Tether had? Was it 60 or 80,000? Whatever. But hey, what was she even doing? Is this another like dark web, Silk Road kind of stuff? UK. They should be richer on bitcoins now. Start a strategic reserve instead of forcing digital IDs. I think that would be the right move. We'll see. Before I talk about this, since we're talking about digital IDs and stuff like that, New York actually launches a pilot program giving low-income residents $12,000 in stablecoins on Coinbase. Okay, interesting. So, and it's true. Bloomberg confirms it. New York City's Future First pilot. It's funded by Coinbase and run by Give Directly. This is something to give to the poor, I guess. $12,000 in USDC stablecoins to 160 low-income residents aged 18 to 30 over 5 months. For New York, only giving it to 160 people, like how do you even qualify for that? And how much is that in total? How much money are they giving away? So it's 160 times 12,000. About $2 million. Really? Okay. So they're just giving away $2 million to the 160 poor people in total, right? So what are they going to do with this USDC? And since they're poor, do they even know about crypto at all? How are they basing these numbers off of? Ages 18 to 30. These are young people. They will definitely know about Bitcoin and crypto. Are they going to buy Bitcoin with that? $2 million? It's not a lot. But you're giving them in stable coins. Why not just give them in cash? Like a good old check in the mail if you're going to provide stimulus in that way. And only to 160. I don't understand. But hey, that'd be funny. And this link is to a dead page, which is also funny. Yeah, the page is not found. All right, Grok. Thank you. Moving on. Yeah, this is my last bit of news. Kronos has partnered with Amazon Web Services to make its blockchain data and AI tools more accessible, aiming to support institutions and enterprises in building on-chain finance. So, tokenized stocks, I'm assuming. How was Kronos today? 4% up. Pathetic. We're still at 20 cents. Yeah, they fell off. Oh boy. After hitting almost 40, we're 50% down. That's not cool. I already took advantage of it. I sold my Kronos. All gone. Happy. It was all thanks to the Trump partnership. That's why that original rise happened on Kronos. The CRO token, this is for crypto.com, right? So I still have some. I have to get rid of my card because the crypto.com card, I have it in my wallet here. It's a cool looking card. Like I like how it looks on the outside. It's like the red one. It's not a lot of money to get it. I think it's $500 you have to deposit in Kronos. You deposit it, you lock it up, and that Kronos stays there. The CRO tokens. You use this, it's like a prepaid debit card, basically. What sucks is that you cannot withdraw the money. You have to spend it. So that's where I'm stuck right now. I deposited a bit too much at one point, and now I have to spend this money, and I don't know how to spend the money. Like, I have to physically go to a store and purchase stuff with it. I guess that's the only way to do it. Or, like, buy something online, like on Amazon or whatever. So there's that. It's a really cool card, like I said. It's, like, actually made out of metal. Not like the plastic credit cards that you get, you know? This is, like, actual metal. It's heavy. It feels like you're holding $1 million in this credit card, or this debit card. And it's Visa. But that's an issue, too, is that it is a little bulky, and it fattens my wallet quite a bit. So for something holding less than $100 in there and I don't know where to spend it on, it's like, okay, why do I need this? The only good thing about it is that it provided cash back in Kronos. Like, they would refund you in the Kronos token, whatever the equivalent amount of 2% of any cash back that you purchase with. And they also offered good exclusive perks, like 100% cash back on Spotify. Some of them offered cash back on Netflix or on Amazon Prime, 100% cash back. But that caused this was back in 2021, that caused the coin to be really inflationary And they had to do something about it. So they reduced the rewards, they reduced the cashback. Now it's like only 10% cashback if you use it to pay for Spotify or something. And it's only for like 6 months, the first 6 months. It's not like all forever, right? So that kind of ruined it for me, in my opinion. I was like, okay, so I'm not getting free Spotify anymore. This is boring. And also Spotify has just sucked. um so yeah. Now it's like there's no real point in having this card anymore. It's about to expire soon anyway. So I'm like, I just want to get rid of the money, and after that it will take 30 days to unlock the Kronos tokens that I put in originally, which that's a scam in my opinion. I've had the money in there for so long, just let me take my Kronos tokens out and then I can sell it. So if I want to get rid of those tokens, I should probably think fast, because in 30 days maybe Kronos goes up again to these high prices. Not saying it will, but it could. I don't know, maybe not even that high, but it will be higher than where we are right now. That's at least what I want, is for it to be higher than where we are right now. So that would be my chance to exit and take some profits. That's my little plan. What else? Oh yeah, so this is what they're still doing stuff. They're still partnering. They still have the Trump deal with Trump Media Technology, right? Lots of money, millions of dollars. But this is cool. They already started with offering stocks in the United States for crypto.com users. So you could basically trade stocks. I think it's in the US and not in Canada yet. But they're planning to do maybe tokenized stocks, from what I understand on this, with this partnership with Amazon Web Services. But do I really want that? Check this out. We have xStocks now on Bing X, and I can trade stocks 24/7. This is beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted. The only issue is that we don't have every stock in the world. We only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stocks. Among those, I was looking at some really good entries. So Netflix is not on here, so I won't be able to buy it. But Meta is cheap today, oversold. And oh, what's that? Markets are closed? No problem. You can just buy right here. The issue is, do I really want to buy this? Like, I'm not a big fan of stocks, to be honest. But hey, I want to try this out like on an earnings play. Imagine like if you do a breakout strategy with earnings on a 24/7 type chart. Because earnings usually come in pre-market or in post-market, and you can't trade, right? So you just got to kind of gamble it away and see whether or not whatever you purchased on whatever stock goes up or down because of good or bad earnings or projections of earnings. But here you don't have to worry about that, I assume. The way I see this is just free money, right? I'll try it out. I'll test it out and I'll let you guys know how it goes. But yeah, either way, like after market hours, you can tell when that happens. Like there's no volatility. It's pretty clear. And it seems like, do we skip weekends? 4th of September, 5 September, 6 September. No, we don't. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this has existed for a while apparently. I don't believe that. This must be like you're getting this API data from somewhere else. Since July? Yeah, no, that's not real. They're taking it from xStocks, that's why. This is all data from them. But you can trade it on Bing X, which is cool. So if you ever see a stock over here that I decide to hold at some time, that's probably why. Yeah. Don't know what else to look for here. Sonic is $0. Finally. This was down like 2,000. Oh, we're up $11. This was down like $2,000 at one point. So I'm finally happy to see it turn green. And I've got a lot in Sonic, and I've still got a lot of faith in it. I know it's a good project and it must go up. So that's gonna stay there. On Plasma, 217. I'm already making half of what I put in. Not really though, because of the 3x leverage. It's fine. I think I'll leave it there. Hyperliquid, what are you doing? Oh, we're shooting up with it as well. Resistance for Hyperliquid, since I didn't talk about it, you got it at $50. Did I tell you about did I tell you guys about this perfect play that I made on Hyperliquid? I purchased over here and I purchased over here, which brought my average price to basically 43, right? It rose up to here at 46. I sold it, and then I put another trigger order at 43. We came back down, we hit exactly that, and then we continued rising. That was just a perfect trade. I just want to brag about it. It was really cool. I'm getting too cocky though. I don't want to jinx anything in the future, so, you know, I'll stop bragging. Research coin though, come on. I'll do a bit more research on this actually. No pun intended. Research coin. We're at a resistance for it though right now, but next resistance is my entry price. And I'm sure most altcoins, alt season's coming, a lot of these, whether they're important or not, will do good. What is Pepe doing? Slightly on the way back up. And BitTensor also. I think it was a little high. My entry price, 319, yeah. I bought a lot of it, like a lot of entries, not a lot of money in it. In total, how much do I have? 3,000? Okay, that's a decent amount. But I know this is genuinely a good project, so yeah. I'm not concerned that it's going to crash on me or liquidate at all, so this is going to be fine. We're met with a resistance right at my entry price. Okay, next one is 330 if you care, for BitTensor Tau. All right, there we go. I've run out of stuff to talk about. Yeah, so that'll be all for the stream. What are we expecting then? Non-farm payroll data on Friday, which if government shutdown suddenly stops, cool. We'll be getting that data. Might be delayed nonetheless. Or if not, we're just going to have to use our brains and assume that, yeah, the economic data is going to be bad, and that's good for the chances of rate cuts, and things will continue higher. What's the bad thing? What's the thing that can make this whole thing drop? Hamas rejecting the ceasefire proposal made by the United States, agreed by Israel. It's just up to Hamas whether or not they accept the terms. There's no specific, like, due date, I guess, for them to accept. They said, oh, it's going to happen soon. It's going to happen in 4 days. Or we don't know exactly when they're going to come out with the resolution. There's that. I don't see what else can really crash markets at this point. I'm just thinking of stuff that can make it rise. Rate cuts, ETFs. Everybody's buying. Alt season indicators, Bitcoin dominance dropping. Tokenized stocks. Blockchain adoption, institutional purchases, everything. How are ETFs? I have not even looked at that, to be honest. I feel like it's, I don't know. It just gives you a good idea of what the ETFs are feeling, but it's not a good idea of like keeping track in real time because this is a bit of delayed data, right? We never get BlackRock numbers on time, but we can assume that they purchased today. There's been inflows on Bitcoin for the last couple of days. We don't have the XRP or Dogecoin one yet. But Ethereum is here. Inflows for Ethereum so far. BlackRock among the biggest buyers. We'll see if they also continue buying today. It seems like they will. Everything is going up. And Solana just non-stop inflows from Rex Osprey. God bless. If you don't know, Rex Osprey also has we have a spot XRP ETF, guys. And a Dogecoin ETF, whether you believe it or not. So, well, I did not mean to click that. What is it? No, it's Doge, D-O-J-E, Rex Osprey Dogecoin ETF. So if you want a meme ETF, it's literally there. And then what is the XRP one? XRPR? Yes. Look at that brain of mine, remembering stuff. Yeah, there you go, literally, an XRP ETF. It exists. It's out there. It's just not listed on this website. Farsight investors, get on that. I'm calling you out. All right, that's all. Great. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. Be sure to like and subscribe as always. I'll catch you tomorrow. Whatever news comes out, we'll be discussing that. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But things are still looking good. There's no real reason for us to keep crashing, but I'd still be mindful of correction as things do scream oversold, especially on Bitcoin's chart. And Bitcoin does tend to lead the way, but even if Bitcoin does make its correction, I do think altcoins will still continue to skyrocket because it's like, okay, our turn. And then they'll continue moving because that's how the alt season works. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it all. Yeah, stay safe.